Hello everybody, it's me, DigMC, and welcome back to our second ever episode on the DigCast. Today, in this podcast, we are joined with our special guest, Negative Entropy. Negative, say hello.
Hello.
And Negative, thank you very much for inviting us into your beautiful home / 2v2t base. The castle you see behind us is a build by you, correct?
It's a couple people.
It's a couple people, couple contributors. This space is about 50 people at it, so it's hard to keep track sometimes. So, if I'm sure you're aware, we interviewed Bucky Buck last episode, and the first thing I kind of started off the podcast with was establishing the fact that he had an ego. Now, I think I kind of see you as a polar opposite to him in the fact that you're like one of the most humble people on 2v2t that I know of. So I wanted to ask you, do you see yourself, because obviously you do own the SpawnMasons Discord server, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So do you see yourself as a leader?
Okay. So there's a couple people in the SpawnMasons that have like the high role, and that gives them like admin perms and stuff. But the group's really democratic. They can't just do anything they want, and that's like the case for everyone. If I would like start like inviting people that people don't want, they would just like ask me to stop.
Okay.
And give the ranks up and stuff. But like it's not really the point. If anything, I try to like call the shots a little more than other people. And if there is a de facto leader, I think people would say it's me. But I don't really consider me the leader of the faction.
The epic 2v2t faction leader, yeah. But you are the, let's say, main organizer then, I suppose.
I guess so.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So, why 2v2t? Why Anarchy? Why did you join? Well, not why did you join 2v2t, because that's a pretty normal question, but what made you stick around for 2v2t?
I stuck around in another server before this for a bit, and I was like MC Central, one of those garbage pay-to-win skyblock faction servers. And I was pushed away from that for obvious reasons. That's like pay-to-win garbage.
Yeah.
And I like to like cheat a bit around there, some free cam, some funny stuff. And like I literally started looking for servers without rules or anarchy servers, but most specifically servers that don't reset. I didn't really find to be at all in the beginning because I looked for these things and I found this other garbage server that actually did reset after a year and like stupid stuff. But then after Usher's video, I joined to be, and like why I stuck around. In the beginning I went back and forth a little bit between the other server and this because my friends were still on the other server, right? Nobody wanted to join this hellhole and like pay priority queue to like build on a wasteland server. But I don't know, I just enjoyed the community more, enjoyed like the fact that there's no moderation or very little.
Yeah,
and
less so back then.
I don't know, every new friend on 2B wants to make a name for themselves, right? And like it drives you to do some things, and then you find people you like, and then like at some point there's like some critical point where you just stick around because you want to stick around, because your friends are there, because your builds are there, because the people you know are there, and the people that know you.
Yeah,
I mostly like I mostly build to show things to people, and if people recognize my shit, that's nice. That's like 2B is a good place for that, I think.
Yeah, so you would say you lie more on the side of you stuck around for, or you were initially attracted to 2b2t because of the community and the lawlessness, rather than someone like a lot of people who stick around because of maybe the history. So do you think, so how much, what's the kind of like percentages of like 70% community, 30% history? Is it more 50-50?
I don't really care about what other people did before me.
Okay.
But like, yeah, no, I don't know. I see people like doing these rebuilds. I see people caring about like old players, but I really don't give a shit. I like the only reason, like, since they are still around, some people still know them, they might still know me several years after I go. That sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even though I wouldn't see it.
Yeah. And so a lot of people, so you're kind of well known on 2B2T for your builds, second of all your SpawnMason stuff. So you've done plenty of community builds like the SpawnTrain, like the what's it called? The your like airbender things, like and there was
the
like
air
like,
temples. Yes.
Air temples. Sorry, yeah, I'm dumb. So we'll get to those later. But what was your first ever kind of when did you go from making a cool solo base or making a base with a couple friends to kind of starting something on a bit of a bigger scale, maybe with some random people from chat? When did you kind of make that switch?
Well, kind of immediately somehow. I don't know. I escaped to be completely alone, and then I found another like dude on the South Canal, and we just like went further together. Built my own base. Got bored after 3 months of single player with lag because the other guy never logged back in, and then I went to spawn and just did stuff, and then I just met people and did stuff with them, and it just went very naturally. I don't think I ever tried to do a spawn project. I was just like doing shit at spawn.
Oh, okay. So
the first thing I did when I went back is like there was a melon highway where I got some food and I escaped, and I went back there, repaired the melon highway, started just building shit. It's fun.
Fair enough. So you've never had a proper solo base then?
No, actually no, I think no.
That's cool. Okay.
No, actually, okay. That first base, that was mainly solo with that one guy that never logged back in. He logged in once just to do the drop dupe.
Okay.
Which was very nice actually, because he duped like a lot of shit, but mostly PvP garbage, and then he went to spawn and got killed, and like kept dying and
so
quit
that was
again.
basically a solo base for those 3 months.
It was basically a solo base.
Okay.
But that's really like the only one, and stashes, I guess. But those are
sure.
Yeah,
that doesn't really.
That's
count.
just chest
just
items.
a stash. Yeah. So what is it about? Because a lot of people who join 2B, it takes them quite a long time to start to trust random people. Where did you kind of? Because obviously, you don't just invite random people, because that's like putting your chords in chat. So how did you meet the people you wanted to invite, and how did you kind of know to separate the people that might be cool from like the obvious retards?
Well, you said you wouldn't just give random people chords, but
is that what you did?
yeah. Well, okay, not for my first base, right? But like when I started building at spawn, and especially when I did like the first air temple, that was like just you make a hole, you start building, it's fun. Some people find you, and then like when it's done, you're just like, what am I gonna do now? You're not gonna keep building, because it's kind of done. So what I ended up doing was I just would like go to spawn, pick up a random new friend, walk them to my base, which is only 1k net away from spawn, and just have them chill out. And I did that for like 2 weeks until the base got creep.
Oh shit! So what was that first community build?
I don't know if I would call that a community build. The Northern Air Temple was a solo build, but like then I just invited a whole bunch of people, and a whole bunch of people found it because it was only 6k from spawn.
Yeah. Was that the one where I fell out the sky and died?
No.
That
That's the Northern. The Western was in 2017.
Oh.
That was the upside down hanging one.
Oh.
And the Northern is the sandstone castle where I was making a replating and just suddenly fell from the sky and died.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
Like if you remember the signboards there, that was I did it for, like, right? So you have a signboard, it's full. I just make another one next to it. I just make another one next to it.
Because that many.
Just keep collecting people. It's fun.
Yeah. Do you think that a lot of fit fags and new fags, and maybe just people in the community in general, kind of have a misconception that, or they think too much that everyone on 2B2T is a bad person and everyone's going to try grief you? From your experience, is it like, do you think you encounter more like trustworthy people than like people trying to grief you, or is it most people are trying to grief you?
In my experience, I believe that 1 out of 10 people are evil griefers and the rest are quite nice.
Okay.
Or at least won't harm your place.
Right.
But that's like not for, like, that would be different if you would take them to your stash, maybe then they would be more opportunistic. But when there's no stakes, when you just take them to spawn build, most people are not compelled to grief at all.
Yeah.
I try to like think at least a little bit about which new friend I would like take with me. Not take the evil PvPers that keep saying easy in chat, for example, but like that way I could invite 30 randoms without a problem.
Wow, so you do think the kind of misconception, or it's very stigmatized by YouTubers that everyone's just trying to beat each other? Yeah.
But that's obviously not true, right?
Yeah.
It's just it feels like that when all you hear is bases getting griefed and like insiders and.
So why do you think people prefer to stick around your base builds instead of just instantly griefing them?
I don't think people are griefers inherently too much.
Oh, okay.
Some are definitely, but like if I would start talking to them, they would be quite obvious. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the word griefer is kind of like, because some people, when you say griefer, do you mean people that see something and want to grief it, or do you mean people that can grief something? Because obviously a lot of people that get betrayed or get annoyed.
I mean the people that say, now I have to grief it because this is anarchy.
Oh yeah, fuck that. That's so annoying. They're fucking like, this is 2v2T.
That's what anarchy means. I have to blow it up now.
The MC said, yeah, that shit pisses me off. But I mean, more so it used to than it does now.
I think you touched on it on one of your videos.
I did, yeah. It was the dumb misconceptions about 2v2T. Yeah.
It's a good video.
Cheers. Okay, so what's your whole deal with the Christmas trees on 2v2T? Because you're kind of, because I've always known you as the guy who brings Christmas to 2v, right?
What was the first time you saw it?
2018. So I've been to the 2018, 2019, 2021, 2021 one. So I've been to 4. That's crazy.
God, there's already been that much.
Yeah, and you've been doing it since what, like
2016? Yeah. Like I don't know how this happened. Like 2016. The end of 2016 is when I was around Spawn, right? So I went back from my base, it was boring, I started doing some shit around Spawn. I made a bit of a stone path highway at, I don't know, like 200 blocks around Spawn before everything was water cubed. And that was exactly the point where Flip started water cubing. And it wasn't a water cube like the one we know today, but it was just like a machine that would like flood the top layer of Spawn with surge blocks. And that's all. But that filled everything else down, right? But you could still remove it.
Sure. So if you remove the top source, then it was gone, right?
Yeah. And I believe the entirety of Spawn was kind of underwater then. And I was just chilling around there. I had a little base, like 200 blocks from Spawn. I would like last days. It was quite nice. It was
200 blocks from Spawn, eh?
Yeah. It was exactly on 200 to 150. That was how far it was from Spawn. And it was just completely down in the water. Like people wouldn't go there. Like I don't know, the newfags would mostly drown before they get there. But that was fun. I think Mines even gave a little tour of that thing. It wasn't too special, but it was doing stuff like that around Spawn. And then I went to exact 0-0 and all the PvPers were gone. Because they were all in the nether because they hated the water. Like fucking cats. But like, so it was very nice there. And I was just sitting there like, it's Christmas soon. Why is there no tree here? So I just started digging out a bit and made like a crappy tree, and then like people started joining, and like I don't know, it just like happened. I don't know how. And then like the year after, I felt like I had to do it again because nobody else was gonna.
Fair enough.
Yes. And then every year I just did the same thing in the water cube, and I think that's actually fun. In 2016 there was water cube, but then they cleared it all away, Flip's water cube stuff. Right. And in 2017 I had to make my own little water cube at the center of Spawn. I just made this obby frame and a whole source block water cube in there just to build a tree that wouldn't instantly be put on fire.
TNT, yeah. Nice.
That's like kind of the reason I wanted to build a tree there, right? Because it wouldn't instantly burn. That's like the only way to preserve a tree.
Sure.
Like, stuff just happens.
So you've done that since 2017, so that's 5 Christmases, right?
Since 2016.
So 6 Christmases then.
I guess.
Yeah, fuck. That math's nice. That's
cool.
6. So I kind of skipped past your initial joining there because I wanted to get straight to the Christmas tree because it just came into my head. But when you first joined 2B2T, did you have like any what was your like ambitions? Did you hope that one day you will be, a big player, or were you kind of just like, oh, I'll chill, see what happens?
I have no idea. I had no incentive to join groups. Like the Voco stuff was around, I think, when I joined, but that was like just it looked like a joke, and it was.
Yeah.
But I came from a faction server where I would like not give two shits about the faction stuff that was going on. I would just like build nice bases, and I just enjoyed that. I think I was just there to like build some stuff, know some people. The server was cool. The server was hype. I didn't really have any plans. I certainly did not think I would still be here 6 years later.
Oh, okay. So,
oh, it's 6 years already.
Yeah, I get the same feeling, and I've only been here for 4.
I missed my birthday. Fuck.
Fuck. Yeah. So I was talking to Bucky last week. It was like 2 days ago, but last week when this goes up, and he has a very strong opinion that the community, like the 2B2T community, has been basically on a constant downward spiral for the past like 3 years. So hearing you talk quite fondly of the early like people, do you think there's been a shift, or do you think the community's as autistic now as it always was, or if it's got worse, it's got better, whatever?
I don't think it's changed that much. If anything has changed, it's house shenanigans. But like the people themselves, people always complain about the newfags while they are playing. Like it's just when you join the server, you're just fucking stupid too.
Yeah,
like,
you're
and everyone's stupid around you, and you don't notice that. But when you're on the server for a long time, you see those new players, and you think like, wow, they're actually retarded. And people just, I think this is such a psychological thing. People always think it was better when they joined than when they left.
Yeah,
like,
you see this a lot. Everyone looks back at their time on 2B with very
nostalgia is such a strong thing. You only remember the nice things. You don't remember that in 2016 you couldn't play the game because it was 2 TPS. You don't remember all those things. You only remember the cool stuff you did.
Yeah.
And I don't think the players have changed that much.
Okay.
Maybe there was like a local effect when like certain YouTubers, like when Ant Venom joined, his fans were a little bit older than the Rushers, for example. You could kind of feel that, but like I don't think that was a big deal.
Yeah, they had a lot of kids as well, to be fair. Sorry to interrupt, boys, but I just want to let you know that we have a Patreon. By actively supporting the podcast, you will be able to attend our interviews live in-game at the studio and in Discord. By being in-game, you will be able to interact with the world outside and in front of the podcast studio, which essentially means you can just build some massive penises behind the window. Your name will also be added to the supporter signboard, and you'll get some Discord perks as well. So I hope to all see you in the studio soon. Now, back to the podcast. So, to a lot of the newfags watching, or newfags that are joining 2B2T or whatever, what's some advice you can give them about starting out on the server? Because obviously a lot of them, a very common thing for newfags to do is to kind of go a million pay for prio, escape spawn, go like 2 million blocks out, go 100k off the axis, build a dirt shack, a fucking cobble hut, right? Get bored and quit. So what can you kind of say to newfags to make it so they actually have a fun experience on the server?
It's funny because this advice for me really has not changed in 4 years. But I think for new friends joining, that like joining a group is like almost a trap. It's gonna they're gonna want to keep you, they're gonna want to make you build for them, but like that's not the true discovery way for it to be. I think it's fine to escape spawn, try to build a base on your own, but you shouldn't go that far. Like what they always ask is, how far should I build to be safe? But that's not the right question. It's, how far should I build to be safe for 2 months?
For a month. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that is the reasonable distance. And then you go 100k out, and that's enough.
Yeah,
or maybe a bit
100%.
more if you want certain like terrain or animals, I don't know what.
Yeah.
But that's more than enough. You're never going to stay there for that long. Or at least most people.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think it's a waste how they try to go so far.
A lot of the recent, obviously not the one we're at right now, but a lot of the recent SpawnMason bases have been within 100k, right?
Yeah, like Chunk was.
Right.
Yeah, a few were. Like, we try to... so we have Spawn under names, so we don't want to go too far, usually. And like, yeah, Smithville was 200k though. Okay. Chunk was under 100k. A few of those, they were pretty close.
Yeah,
and they last long enough. That's not the problem. Distance is usually not the problem.
It's usually insiders.
It's usually people doing something fucking stupid or like insiders. Yeah. but of course, like for stashes, I give different advice because like my stash I want to be millions of blocks out.
Yeah, you want the certainty that you're always going to have it there, basically.
If I make something now, I will like take really good care of my chunk trails and everything, and like build it 5 million blocks out, and like that. For a stash, that's reasonable. The stash has to survive. But a base, you want to have people travel there. If it's such a horrible travel, people are just not gonna come.
You see that's a mistake a lot of like new groups make. They always make their main bases like 500k out, and like who the fuck wants to? Because like you go to the base, you build one thing, and then you want to go back to spawn, and then you don't want to make the journey again because it's just like effort. So then you have to wait for one of your like newfag friends to load your pearl, or it just doesn't really work. So really, if you want to grow like a decent base with people that aren't that like close to you, or people that aren't that like enthusiastic about building, you have to be within like 250k, so, preferably within 50k, because it's just easy as fuck to get to.
One of the first group bases I got into was like the group of TheDigCast. TheDigCast.
Oh, I remember him, yeah.
And like, you're not gonna know it too well, I think, but like he was just doing a series of builds, and every time they would be gone within 2 weeks. But like, it was fine. It was only 200k out. Like, it was to have fun. It was like a whole dumpster fire, but like, it was fun. I don't know. It was not gonna make a difference if they were a million out or not.
Yeah, literally. So okay, moving on from that. So obviously, I said earlier that one of the main things you're associated with nowadays is the leadership of the SpawnMasons. So how did you initially get into the SpawnMasons? Was it 2017, and who invited you? Blah blah blah.
So when I was helping with the water cube, I knew Flip, the guy that was doing it, and he, what did he do? He brought me, I think, to one of the TheDigCast spaces, and that's where I met up with like a bunch of the older friends, like Nick has cancer, like Herm, like Jumbo, like Logan, HTTP Logan, and that just connected me with like some of those members. And then after 2 of those bases, they just like invited me, and I think it was Nick, and it, like I'd never seen him before at base, but like we just built together, we just did stuff. The stakes weren't too high. You didn't have to do such crazy stuff to get in at that point.
Right, because this was when the group was under a year old, right?
April of 2017.
And when was it founded? Like 2016?
In 2017,
oh,
I think
so it was
January or something.
Okay, right, interesting. Were they doing the weekly lodges at that point?
Yeah, okay. They did the weekly lodges. And then like every, it's crazy because every week there were like 3 initiations or stuff. Stuff is going ridiculously fast. It was like such a. It's funny how like what velocity that thing had. Like,
so what
in one meeting, I think we invited Fit and Jared or something. Like,
oh no,
like
not the best.
What could possibly go wrong, right? But like it worked at that point. It was chaotic.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was a new kind of breath of fresh air, wasn't it, for the community? Because there were all these like factions, like the Imperium, which was just starting at the time.
Imperium, it was just only started. In fact, like in the end of 2016.
Like, were there any? Because obviously there weren't any.
I think there was a vacuum.
Do you reckon? Like PK maybe from the Russia War.
Okay, maybe I just forgot everything that was going on.
I don't know.
I don't know what existed then. The Fourth Reich. And it's actually funny what a big deal the Fourth Reich members were in the SpawnMasons at the beginning.
Oh really?
Yeah, like most of their members were founding fathers almost. Like,
wow.
They were in there from really early, but there's not many left, obviously.
yeah. For the viewers that don't know what the Fourth Reich is, because you're too new, it was basically, think of BSB, but during the Russia War. It was kind of like the main griefing group on the server. They griefed things like the Drain and a bunch of, I can't actually remember, but they griefed the Drain, a bunch of other big bases, and yeah, they were kind of known for that. So that's interesting that the SpawnMasons founding members were ex Fourth Reich members. Huh?
Yeah, so, a lot of them. It was really weird.
So you say you kind of met up with these guys like by building, right? Like a spawn base.
Yeah, just through a base of their members.
So you're clearly, as we can see behind us, a very talented, skilled builder, right? So how much do you think that's opened doors to your for you to be able to do things on 2v2t? Because obviously when you're a good builder, people want you at their base, because when their base gets griefed,
of course.
they get clout. So, how many doors do you think that's opened for you?
Yeah, I do some technical stuff, but I think without being a builder, I wouldn't have gotten too far. Obviously, like, people are looking for someone who can do something, right?
Yeah.
And if you're like a crazy coder, that's useful. And at that point, the only thing I really did was build. So yeah, I think that was everything really.
Fair enough. Yeah. So
I also
were you a builder before? Obviously, you said you were playing on like survival or like skybox servers. So how long have you kind of been building for? Is it a thing you've practiced, or is it kind of just a natural skill?
I was really shit at it still then. Like, at least now I think that it's like when you're coding. Your code from a year ago looks like garbage. It was the same with building. I started building like anyone who doesn't know how to do it in 2011, 2013 maybe. Okay. I don't even remember. In single player, tickets, mod packs, I don't know. On a cracked launcher. And then later I got into like some friend server, started building a bit better, and got into the Skyblock and faction stuff. That's where I really like tried. I was watching the Mumbo Jumbo stuff. I was like watching YouTubers build the Oxcast, all that stuff. That helped. That gives you inspiration, shows you how other people build. That does a lot. And then on to be just like improved, right? I don't know. Some people just like to become better builders, and for them it will be automatic, and other people just aren't builders, and like for them it's mostly gonna be wasted effort trying.
And then you have people like Crowbar, which is just fucking god.
Yeah, I didn't have
another
idea, like,
level of human, bro. This shit's crazy. So yeah, sorry.
I could not build alone for that long. I don't know how he does it.
It's crazy, man. Like, I mean, it's not even a build anymore. It's just art. Like, really, he's just making.
I mean,
art
the man's just doing build team stuff, right?
Yeah, but solo, right?
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it looks like it was built like for Hypixel by a fucking paid team.
It does.
But yeah. So if you weren't a good builder, if building wasn't in your kind of skill set, how do you think you would? Or what approach would you have had to 2B2T? Because obviously you'd have still wanted to do community stuff, but your community stuff would have sucked. So how do you think that's like? How do you think? I don't think I would have
played 2B at all, because
really? Okay.
I mainly play Minecraft to show my build.
Right. Fair enough.
I don't know. I didn't really try to. I wasn't that interested in the community itself. It was just like more of an effect. Nor the history. I didn't start with like exploring, like going to Orius or some shit when I joined. Like,
right, yeah.
I didn't care.
That's really unique.
That's really base. I want to build stuff.
Because most people either do fall into the category of, oh my god, this community looks fun, or anarchy, or I want to make history.
Yeah.
Or,
when I joined, it was really simple. I had my base, and on my wall I had a bunch of signs with like other people in chat I like talking to.
Oh really? You wrote them down?
Yeah, like Happy Thoughts 02. Like, they're all gone, right? But like, there were people that would talk in chat I would see on a lot, and I was just talk with. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so tell me a bit about. Actually, let's fast forward a bit. So, how did you? Because obviously everyone knows you as blah 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 leader of SpawnMasons, right? How did that become a thing? Because from what I know, I know there was a bit of drama surrounding it, or some bullshit with like Hermetic Clock leaving. So can you give us like a TLDR of like how did? Because obviously Herm was the founder and initial leader of SpawnMasons. So how did he leave? Like, why did he leave? What was all that about? Why are you the leader now, basically?
Oh god, this is gonna be
quite a long story. Yeah.
I'm gonna think about my words so I don't like ramble on for half an hour.
No, don't worry about it.
So the group was chaotic, right?
Why was it chaotic?
Because we would just invite literally anyone.
Okay.
Invite Jared, invite like other people, and then like I think it was Summermelon. Some people griefed Summermelon, and they were members of the SpawnMasons, and people at Summermelon were also members of the SpawnMasons. So yeah, that's not really along the code of the SpawnMasons to do that, and like people were mad, and they wanted like the people that griefed like thrown out of the group, right? And Hearn couldn't really deal with the stuff. And he didn't want to kick people, but everyone was angry and like, oh, there's this whole I don't know what, and he just like got sick of it. He said it's not fun for me anymore, and he just kicked everyone. Banned everyone, even better.
When you say
like,
everyone, you mean like just the people who are like being AIDS?
No,
right?
no, everyone.
Oh, right, okay.
No,
So
there's this
he
video
used
of
the
him
Discord.
banning every member from the
Oh.
Discord. He just disbanded, right?
Right.
But he didn't want to delete the Discord.
Okay.
But like he had a good run. He had like I think half a year then. The group was crazy. Like everyone knew them. They did some stuff. But like yeah, and then like all those members. This happened at a meeting at 5 a.m. when I was sleeping.
Oh no.
When I still had a normal sleep schedule. And I just wake up and like SpawnMasons Discord's like not in my list anymore. I'm like, huh, what the fuck is going on? And then I had to hear like from someone else, like, oh yeah, he threw everyone out, disbanded the Discord. I'm like, what? And then there was nothing for a month, and I was really bored because all my friends were in there. And then Henry and Ain restarted the Discord basically.
So it took a month for people to be like, oh shit, we should rebuild this.
But yeah, at the beginning, people just like kind of respected Herm's process. But then they were like, yeah, just fuck it. Actually, we want to keep going with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but at that point, Herm was not very democratic, right? The group was just Herm, really.
So a bit of a dictatorship kind of thing.
Herm's decisions, but he did it well up until that point, I guess. But it would never have been a long-lasting group.
Right. So when was this? Was it late 2017?
This must be late 2017, I guess. Yeah.
That's weird because I don't know why I had this impression, but I always had the impression that Herm led the SpawnMasons until like mid 2019, and that's when you took over.
We'll get to that. It's complicated.
Oh, really? Oh, is there more to it? Okay.
It's complicated, dude. Yeah. So yeah, Henry and Ain restarted Discord, and like things are reasonably okay. They have to deal with like the shit that Herm left behind, right? But like they wanted to do it, so like yeah, whatever. And we kept doing stuff and kept inviting members, and I don't know what. But that I think that lasted like a year and a half or something. But then Henry stopped playing kind of, and he owned the Discord because he restarted it. And I was worshipful at that point just because I like did stuff.
Can you just explain that rank hierarchy because people don't know what that
is?
Oh
yeah, I was an admin in the Discord basically.
Cool.
That name, just like the owner, but the owner has the Discord. Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you're right.
But stuff was not as democratic back then. Still, it became more and more democratic over time. But yeah, Henry kind of stopped playing, and it was kind of annoying because we would always wait at the meeting for Henry. And then at some point, I think Herm was let back in, just to like help us out with stuff, and because he seemed to just want to do stuff, but we were like, yeah, but we're not gonna give the Discord back to him. Yeah, fine. And he actually did help with some stuff. He helped us with the logo. He didn't really build, but he was around, but not as much as he was before that. And now I'm thinking, yeah, at some point Henry wanted to retire, and he had to give the Discord to someone else. And instead of like asking who should give it to, he just gave it to someone.
Just a random person in Discord.
Well, to Turbin. Turbin's not a random person, but he was literally just a new member, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And then we got them to like give it back to me because I held it for a little bit before, and I was like the longest active worshipful. That's like really the only reason.
And when is this? Is this 2018?
Oh, God, I don't even know. Like, no, this is way later. It's 2020, I would think.
Oh, so there was a big period of time then when it was kind of
there was a big period where Henry just held it and we went on.
Okay, and was Herm acting as the leader during that time, did you say?
No.
Okay. So who was like, I'm trying to understand who was organising it between Herm leaving and you eventually getting the permanent ownership. Like who was organising things?
Henry was the de facto leader at that point.
Okay, and he actually did. He didn't just own the Discord. He actually did things. He actually
he did stuff.
Okay, all right, yeah, I feel you. All right, cool.
For that long period. It might have been 2019. God, this is such a mess in my head. Like, so much stuff happened.
Fair enough,
But yeah, at some point Herm got worshipful again, anyways, because he did a lot of stuff. That's how it goes. And then there was some more drama. I didn't even remember what happened. People just like didn't like Herm breaking the rules all the time, I think.
How did he break the rules?
Sorry?
How did he break the rules?
By not following them. I don't know.
Yeah,
like inviting random people and not listening to the vote.
So he was overall just kind of misbehaving, sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but that's how he had his group back in the day, right? He just like went back to his old ways. How he made the Discord. He felt like he could do that, I guess. I don't know. At some point, I think. At some point, he left. I made the Guardsman, where he could actually like do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
And that was fine, I guess. And we were like, okay.
And then I think he quit the Guardsman after like a few months.
Sorry?
He quit the Guardsman after like a few months, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was a whole mess. Like it went. The Guardsman started exactly like the SpawnMasons started. It was a chaos. And like
it was really fun when it started. I remember that.
Well, yeah, of course.
They had their homework and shit.
That's how it is. But it can't be a long-lasting group.
So what made Herm leave the Masons then? Why did he just quit? Like the second time?
I don't know. We had some disagreements about him inviting people.
So that's what. So when you say invited, was he inviting like Discord accounts as guests, or was he inviting actual like people to be members and he was just giving them roles?
Oh, I think it was guests. Like it wasn't that great of a deal, but at that point we had become so democratic.
Right. So even a small thing like that is seen as quite bad.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. There was like a lot of things going together. And he just did that, and then the Guardsman collapsed, and like now he's just posting meme videos, which is fine, I guess.
No, he seems like a fun guy. I mean, he's kind of got the reputation as a he gets people together rather than he keeps people together, right?
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, he'd be.
I would not trust a group to last long
under
him, but like that's fine. He can.
I feel like maybe he gets bored. I think he comes up with a cool new idea. Right? Yeah, he does.
I like to preserve things a bit.
Keep order to make cool bases like the one behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, a group has to last more than half a year for that, right?
True. How old's this base?
I have no idea. Like year and a half.
It's really? Oh, I thought it was like.
Yeah, but there was nothing at the beginning, right? Which is
right. Okay. So when did it kind of?
Hole.
Was it after Rat House where it's sort of everyone got invited and it picked up?
I think it existed before that.
Yeah, but when it got like really active.
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay, right, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
so how does the kind of democracy thing work in the SpawnMasons? Because a lot of people will hear that and be like, haha, lop, lop, lop. So is it actually an effective system? Because last week on Bucky's interview, he specifically said, don't make a democratic group, only be the only leader. So
yeah, that's how you would want it to be. Like, that way you can keep order, right?
Yeah.
And for most groups, I think that's a reasonable thing. But like, I don't know. This group has lasted long enough. I think it proves itself to be stable. It's like all the active members just get to vote on anything important, and we listen to majority usually. And like it's very simple. It means that the people owning the Discord can't just do whatever the fuck they want.
But surely that makes
that's a more robust way.
Because surely that, just like real life democracy, that creates quite some tensions between two groups of people that want separate things. So it is not infighting, but is arguing a kind of prominent thing inside the group because there's so many people with different views.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Like that's what you get.
But you get it solved, basically.
Sorry?
But you get it solved.
Yeah, like if you vote and there's an outcome, like that's it, you know.
Fair enough.
Too bad for the ones who apparently didn't convince enough people.
Yeah. So what's the deal like? So is it you can vote for anything? So if let's say I'm in the Masons and there's another Mason that I don't like, can I start a vote to get him like banned? Is that something is that something you can do?
Technically, yes, but that would literally like never happen.
Never happened, sure.
I don't know. We just like, I don't know. If a people isn't liked, they're gonna just be socially pushed out that much that they just like stop playing. I don't know.
That's kind of similar to what we do in BSB when there's like recruits that we don't like. We kind of just like, we don't kick them. We just sort of like don't talk to them. So yeah.
Like yeah, at this point, the people we invite are not like, or like yeah. There's a difference between guests and actual members, right? But when we make someone a member, like. We're pretty sure they're not gonna be stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, with the reputation the SpawnMasons has as this kind of exclusive members club, I know it sounds larpy to say, but you know, this exclusive club of elite 2B2T players, right? Doesn't that, because obviously that attracts a lot of people wanting to join. I'm sure you get multiple DMs constantly saying, "Oh, how do I join the SpawnMasons?"
Oh no, not at all.
Oh really? You don't?
Oh, no, I don't think people even know that I own the Discord.
Oh, okay. That's weird, because most group leaders do get that. People just constantly...
Yeah, I know.
How do I apply?
But yeah, I didn't get a lot. Last person I got was like Dima asking if he could join to help defend a logo or something.
Okay, so let's say I'm a newfag, right? And I join 2BCC with the ambition to join the SpawnMasons. What should I do?
Build cool stuff. Or do cool stuff. And be noticeable. That's literally what we tell them, but because like there's and probably have some friends within the group that could like propose adding you, but you can't just ask to be let in. If you ask to be let in, it's a no.
Yeah, I think that's with most groups, to be fair, apart from like newfag groups. So befriend members basically, but how do you find out who the members are? Like, you know, where like try and give a newfag a blueprint of how to join the SpawnMasons is basically what I'm asking.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I just look at the member list. You know who SpawnMasons are without being in Discord, a bit at least.
I know some of them because I've talked to them and I'm friends with them,
yeah,
but I don't know
exactly.
everyone.
Talk to people.
Yeah, basically. Be social. I mean, 2B2T is a social game, right? It's kind
of,
it
is.
It's who you know rather than what
That's
you
how
know.
it works.
Although, actually, I don't know. It is kind of what you know on 2B as well, because obviously you can know an exploit and that instantly makes you really powerful, whilst in real life you can't really know something that gives you that much influence. So
yeah, can you imagine having a dupe exploit in real life?
In real life, dupe the fucking like federal gold reserves, easy.
Dupe credit cards.
So I want to talk about one of the community projects you've done, the one that I've been a part of a little bit and I thought was really cool, the SpawnTrain. What was the whole? Can you give an explanation as to what that was, what the inspiration behind it was, and how it kind of all played out?
Oh, we've had some like SpawnMason lodges in the past that were like kind of a forced group project, as in everyone that comes has to like build their little part. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to make train, like, make people build cards. And just like looked on the 100k map in 3D, looked for a piece of land that was kind of flat, close to spawn. Just went and built a train track and a train locomotive. Then just started inviting people. And initially I was just trying to do a lodge and just invited some masons, but then it was like, and then we had the lodge and it was like, oh, this is cool, we could just make it longer, and just started inviting random people.
Wasn't there like a treasure hunt sort of thing you had to...
Oh yes, you're right. So I wanted to invite random people, but I didn't want to just give them the cards, so I made this like little coordinate quest thing where there were like 4 stages. You had to solve a clue at each one to get to the next stage. And that way you'd find the cards. And that like was a perfect filter for idiots. Like, it was insane. Like, stupid griefers would not get through, and anyone who like was a bit older and would be a bit reasonable could like figure it out.
Like,
maybe with a little bit of help.
Yeah, it wasn't hard stuff, I remember. It was like you reverse image search a picture of a town or something to find its name.
It was not that hard, but like it's a perfect filter.
Puzzle. Yeah,
most griefers will not go through a little bit of friction just to get to a base.
Yeah. They literally have the monkey mentality of OMG, I see blocks, place TNT. Or place people who grief with crystals are just retarded and gay, but you know, they'll do that. But if they, you know, as you said, have some barrier.
Most opportunity griefers don't seem that smart, I'll put it like that.
Nice. So how did so how long did the SpawnTrain get?
I think over 1,000 blocks. I don't
Was
even
it?
remember. It was like 50 cards, 60 cards.
And how long was it? So 60 individual people built a train cart.
Yeah, probably.
Connected to the train.
But like, look, it was funny because the thing kept getting longer and longer. So your discovery radius around spawn keeps getting bigger, and more people just fly into it. Like, it was a bit of a snowball effect, and it kept growing and growing until Jared was there, and then we had to blow it up.
Oh yeah, did Jared find it, or did he get given codes by someone?
I have no idea.
No clue.
Yeah, some new friend probably gave him codes. Like,
yeah. So how long did it last in total? Like 4 months?
Sorry?
How long did it last in total? Like a couple months?
In cards or in blocks?
No, how long did it last? Like time?
Oh, last?
Yeah.
2 months?
Wow. Nice.
It was silent for a bit. Yeah, it lasted a reasonable amount of time. It was 20k from spawn. Like, I had some luck. There were some people like literally defending the thing when I was getting griefed. We just kept going.
Killing Jared.
No. I mean someone else. There was like someone else like with crystals, and they just killed him.
Yeah.
He never came back.
Nice. So what was like your is that up there with one of your favorite community projects or builds you've done?
Well, I don't really have favorites. I just like to do stuff from time to time.
So you don't have a tier list?
No, I did. I'm like literally in the at the point where like it's been so long that I did something interesting at spawn. I need to do something, but like it's hard to find something.
Yeah, what
interesting.
was the last thing you did?
It might just be the spawn train.
Do you think? Oh god.
Or the last Christmas tree, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
only lasted
like
a
I
day.
haven't been doing that much lately. It's kind of sad.
You've just been building at this space, I guess.
Yeah.
Or busy IRL. Or...
Well, busy IRL too.
Yeah, fair enough. So what do you have any other ideas you can leak as to maybe some upcoming projects?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I don't know. When there will be something, I'll invite random people.
So do you just come up with a random idea and be like, yeah, okay, I'll do this. I'll try it.
Yeah.
So surely that means you've had some that's like lasted a day. Like surely you've had like a bit of a failure.
Yeah. The train was blown up after 2 weeks, and I just stopped and started again.
Well, yeah, but
It wasn't far yet. Someone blew it up, and I just like left for 2 weeks, came back after 2 weeks, rebuilt it, and then we had the snowball.
Oh shit, that's cool actually. Right. So
you like there was potential there. Like I didn't want to just throw it away.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess you had all the tracks and infrastructure, so might as well use it, I guess. Yeah. So there was never a one where you've started it and like a day or two later it's instantly gone.
I don't know. There's a lot of projects that like grew out of lodges, and it's just like either it takes off or it doesn't, and if it doesn't take off, then it was just a lodge, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah. So what are like some of the more? Because obviously, is it still a SpawnMason tradition to do these lodges, which is for those that don't know, a meeting where the group's members like build something, come together, blah blah blah. Is that still a weekly thing?
Yeah, it is. It's actually insane that we've kept
That's
that
mad.
up. At the beginning, we had one every week, right? But then like it slowed down, and like around 2018, the server was really slow. I'm not sure if you were here for that, but like all the hype was like gone. Russia was gone. End of 2017, beginning of 2018, I'm thinking. Because the Russia hype died down completely. I think that's the lowest 2B has been since Russia.
Well, like 2017, 2018, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, around there. So we didn't have that much going on then. There was like often like only one lodge a month. It's kind of sad. And then somehow we just like revived out of nowhere. I don't know how it happened. But ever since 2019, 2018? Ever since 2018, we have had a lodge every week, not skipped a single one.
Jesus, that's crazy.
We're at number 237 now.
Bloody hell.
But it's way more interesting than the real Freemasons. The Freemasons, they have like a building and they go there every week, or I guess, like, I don't fucking know. It's so boring. Just make a new building every week.
Just build a new one and then blow it up.
Yeah.
Also, that's another kind of misconception about the Masons. You guys don't just grief your own lodges after they're done, right? You usually leave them, or you just expand on them until they get griefed.
Only
right?
sometimes. In the beginning, we blew them up every time, but some builders would rather like leave it and hope it survives for a bit. And like we don't. If the builder wants to be blown up, we'll blow it up, and otherwise we won't.
Sure.
But it's funny to tell people that we blow them up because they never look for them then.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Yeah, because
most people realize that.
It's just like the common kind of. You hear the SpawnMasons, you're like, oh yeah, they're the guys that fucking blow their shit up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna correct them. Like I don't care.
Fair enough. What's the coolest, or what's some of the coolest, like, when I say cool, like kind of most unique lodges that your members have done?
Oh.
What stands out to you as a good memory?
I mean, I could say names, but people wouldn't recognize them anyways, right?
Well, just describe them.
Okay. I am looking in our top lodges of the year, 2019 right now.
Okay.
Okay. There's a few fun ones. So, one lodge was like the Masonic Courthouse, or the Masonic Trials, where Scribble Fox put everyone on trial in the game. The on trial role was like a rank in our Discord for like when someone did something wrong, we would put them on trial and like decide on it later. But like it was kind of a meme because we never used it, and he just like found a stupid reason to put everyone on trial and jammed everyone in a courthouse, like pleaded us all guilty, like put us all in jail basically.
Nice.
But it was like a whole experience. He built like an entire courthouse prison system for that at Smithville.
Just for a week of, just for a week.
Yeah. Just for an hour of lodge. It was crazy. And those kind of things, just like those, really pop out. Then my own air temples were lodges, of course.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's look at 2020. The train was obviously a lodge. Oh, this one was interesting. So, the 2020 award for most historic or nostalgic lodge went to the Shit and Come and 69 lodge, which was
I'm
built
sorry, say that again.
No, which was built at the drain. So, did you see? You were there, right? The autumn drain.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
Chani-
I was there. Yeah.
Where
yeah,
Chani
I
and
forgot
Lunch
about
Katsu
that.
rebuilt the entire drain. Then, and they were building there. And then Ox and Baba J found it through nocom, which nobody knew at the time. I didn't even know
Oh,
it.
it's through
Like,
nocom. Interesting. Okay.
I think they found it through that. And they just like, oh, you have to build the lodge this year. Right. And then they go there. They tear down the centerpiece from Lunch, Katsu, and Johnny. Those two are like terrified, right? They don't dare to like say anything against fucking Baba J, Lager, and Ox. They just built this huge fucking cock in the middle of the base. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I'll pop up a screenshot for those that want to see it right now.
It is. It was, in the hindsight, it was hilarious, but I wasn't too happy when I saw it because they were just like terrorizing these children.
Yeah, terrorizing a cool group.
Like right after that lodge, we like broke it all down. We cleaned it all up for them.
Yeah, that was nice.
I couldn't stand.
So obviously nocom's a big thing that a lot of your, well, not a lot, like some of your members are known for, and kind of it's a bit of a meme that, oh, SpawnMasons had nocom. So what kind of, how true is that statement? Like, did you guys actually have it, or was it just a couple of you had it, and then maybe if, you know, Negative Entropy asked Leisure for some base or for a player's coordinates, he'd give them to you. Like, were you aware of its existence?
Okay, so up until the point it was patched, I had no idea what it was.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's how well they did their OPSEC, I guess. They kept it within a nerd, which I'm happy about because, like, the less people, the less damage, I guess.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we knew that lasers could somehow, like, magically figure out stash coordinates, and we just, like, sometimes send some to Lamp to go steal. It was very suspicious, and we just knew he wouldn't tell us about it. But it was fine. Like, who's gonna complain that they get free base coordinates? Like,
so shit, what was I gonna say? So, what was I gonna say? So, what was I gonna say? So, shit, what was I gonna say? So, what was I gonna say? So, shit, what was I gonna say? So, what was I gonna say? So, shit, what was I gonna say? So, what was I gonna say? So, shit, 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 So the SpawnMasons didn't have that's kind of a meme that
Yeah, that's a
SpawnMasons
complete meme. Like,
okay, fair enough.
they gave us cards.
But you knew you knew he had an exploit if he was doing.
Yeah, we knew there was something going on, but we didn't know what. And like only as the patch date came closer, dared they even say anything else.
Yeah.
Because that was like that shit was starting to like go wild, and right because I think. What group was it that like was working on it? The Brownman?
Yeah, Brownman had it for a few months.
So we knew that they had like a working testing version, I guess. But like Ledger and Ox were kind of worried about that because like obviously you don't want them to find your bases and your stashes, right? So like they just assumed the worst, and that Brownman could like do a lot of stuff. And when it was verified that they had it, they just made sure it was patched immediately.
Did they actually go to House and ask him to patch it?
I think so. I think they just sent an email to House exactly how to fix it, and to the other guys like Paper or whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they had a backup plan to stop anyone else from using it.
So can you tell us if there is a nocom 2?
Oh, everyone thinks, right? Because the accounts are still online.
Oh, are they? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, we just use them as proxy accounts.
What, for like at the base and stuff?
Well, yeah, to skip the queue. Like,
fair enough, yeah, okay.
Even during nocom, they were like, oh yeah, we have a proxy if you want to put accounts on it so you can skip queue. And we were like, okay, and we just put our accounts on that, and apparently they were 24/7 running nocom.
They were using them for nocom.
Yeah, they were using our base accounts to do nocom stuff. That's hilarious. We didn't even know.
So ever since nocom was patched, you haven't noticed cheeky boy Legia going to any new stash codes or anything?
Well, have you heard this? Like, the only stashes we've been stealing are like ones that are abandoned and that people were too lazy to move.
Well, I don't know about that one. You guys stole my very much active building materials stash.
When was it?
This is
which one was it?
Before, that's like a month before nocom went public, but I think a guy in your group called Zippy stole it.
Yeah, but it was like caught during nocom, right?
Yeah. You guys nocommed it.
Like, yeah, no, I don't think anything exists.
Yeah. Well, when I say you guys, but really it was just this couple of people, Nerds Inc. really.
But yeah, they knew the stuff, right? We were just like taking some
accepted existence. I mean, you guys must have been on the meme to some extent though, because wasn't there a thing where you guys were all spamming like digging or we're digging in chat, which was a reference to it or something?
Oh right. How was that again?
Diggy hole.
We knew there was an exploit, right? But we didn't know what, how, or who, or like a bit of who. It was clearly connected to Ledger and Ox. But like, yeah, so there was this exploit and people keep like worrying about it. That was when it like started to ramp up. People noticed we were stealing shit everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't really hide that if you're going so hard. And then Chunk Haven got griefed, and we just like, and they just gave us every chord, every grief it was ever.
Oh really? What, they gave you a massive chords list of sashes?
Yeah, they made a massive chord list of like everything that was detected under their name. And yeah, then it was really clear that like there was something, and then we started like, yeah, trolling, right? Like the fishing exploit, don't fish at your base.
Oh, I remember that. Yo, I completely forgot about the whole fucking fishing.
It was hilarious. We were laughing our asses off. We didn't even know it was the real thing.
Yeah. So it could have been for you know, maybe you guys were just double bluffing in your eyes.
Oh, but dude, Matra made this like overcomplicated game mechanic explanation of the fishing bobber exploit, but it was completely bullshit. If you knew anything about Minecraft code, you saw right through it.
Yeah, but it just had technical words, so it sounded like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
It worked.
Fair enough, yeah. So you guys have benefited greatly from nocom, right? Because you guys have raided countless stashes, correct?
Yeah.
So how rich are the SpawnMasons? I know it's a generic question, but obviously you've existed for a time where there've been the chunk dupe, all the donkey dupes, and you know. So can you put a sort of rough estimate? How rich are the SpawnMasons?
We have our private stashes. Like I still have my private stash, and that's like a lot. But
how did you get your private stash? Was it a chunk dupe? Or?
Sorry, it's chunk dupe. Yeah,
Chunk dupe,
20 2017, 2018, 2018.
18, early 19, I think. Yeah, chunk dupe.
I don't even remember. I made the stash before the chunk dupe, preparing for the next dupe. It was very ahead of time.
Nice.
Yeah, duped a lot of shit there. But like the stuff he stole exclusively, like, okay, give me any like block or item.
Iron ore.
Oh god, I need to go to quantity.
Oh, you've actually got a spreadsheet for this?
No, we have a website.
Oh, right.
Okay, we only have 110,000 iron ore, apparently.
110,000 iron ore. So that's
Yeah,
gotta be a couple dubs.
Not much at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, apparently people don't do this. Well, so we couldn't choose who we stole from, right? We had to steal these crappy PvP kits and all these like stupid block shulker. It wasn't all that great. But like of some things we have like ridiculous amounts.
How many? Because this is one that a lot of people desire to have a high amount of. How many rockets do you have in your possession?
12 million.
12 million. Can you give me that number in like dubs, or is that not possible?
No, that's just, I don't know. It's just 11,806,882.
Okay, fucking hell, that's insane though. That's cool. And this.
That's only the stolen stuff.
So these numbers you're pulling up, is this one big stash full of the stolen stuff, or is this kind of split up into different?
It's a hive mind.
Explain. It's a hive mind.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna get like
not gonna get found.
All stolen at once, but yeah.
Not stored in the same place. Okay. So as a SpawnMasons member, would I be able to, if I'm basing at this space behind us, Sky, would I be able to like put in a little request saying I need this much of this much of this?
No, there's a stash right there.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice.
We stole everything in that stash.
But what if you don't have something that's in the stash? Can you request something?
Yeah. You just ask someone that's at another stash. Like, you just ask someone.
Okay, but it's not an automated system though.
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. All right. Bro's working on it. So that's another thing about your kind of the collection of individuals you've managed to build up. Is there's a lot of developers and coders, and you yourself have got a bit of experience coding, right? You've done some cool shit.
Yeah, I do a little bit, but nothing of the crazy stuff that they pull off.
You got motherfuckers like Lee Jervin though.
Yeah, like
gods.
Yeah, like good luck.
Yeah. So what are kind of some maybe I'm not sure how to phrase this, but development based things, let's say a very technical term, things that your group kind of benefits from, like what other than like maybe this item sorting and item storage, like
it's a big deal though. That's modified baritone stuff, just like the logo. I mean, if you have the creator of baritone, he's good at writing scripts for it, you know. That's a big deal. And then it's just like they're good at finding exploits, I guess. But like they're shit builders.
What, the people that usually code are usually bad builders?
Yeah. They're usually not very good builders.
I wonder why that is. Maybe it's because like people who code a lot are very sort of, I'm not going to say autistic, but like,
but no, yeah, that's
towards that kind of spectrum, which is usually
they definitely score quite high there.
Yeah, that usually contrasts creativity, doesn't it? So
but yeah, I don't think it contrasts. It's just interest, right? If someone likes block game, they might not spend all their time learning how to code. And if someone is just like addicted to coding, they're not gonna like building that much. I don't know. Yeah, people just do what they're good at.
And that's one of the good things about 2b2t. You can excel at either coding, content creation, building, social engineering.
You don't even need to excel at anyone. As long as you enjoy what you're doing, you're fine.
Well, yeah, that's true. But there's so many different areas you can be one of the best in on 2b, and they all lead to you being successful, basically, which is quite cool. So. It's not just I killed your faction, lol. It's not a faction. 2b2t is a faction server, but it's not actually a faction server. So how much of a, not sacrifice, but how much dedication is needed to organise a group such as the SpawnMasons? Because I know a lot of groups, it can be like a full-time fucking job. So are you a very hands-on person, or do you kind of just let people do their own thing?
I don't know. The group runs itself a little bit, right? Because there's no leader. They can do anything they need to. And like, I think I like quit for 2 months at some point. I was a bit tired of it all, just like vanished, and people thought I was dead or something.
Wait, when was this?
I don't know, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, it was not that long. But like the group, like they were fine. They just did their stuff. They kept going.
Yeah. So you don't have to
and like
it, basically.
Most of the time I spend is just like trying to be around and trying to like teach people how to roll it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Okay, so it's not a big thing like running the Infinity Incursion or something.
I think that would take way more time, but that's just because I try to pull the group towards a more of a self-sufficient thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Bucky, for example, he was the leader. Everyone was waiting for him to like call the shots. I don't try to have it like that. I don't want it to be dependent on me.
So you said earlier in the podcast, you mentioned that when you first joined, you didn't think you'd be here 6 years later. Do you think you'll still be playing, and do you still think you'll be doing the same thing? Do you still think you'll be organising the SpawnMasons? Do you think the SpawnMasons will still exist in 6 years from now, or 5 years?
Dear God.
Do you think 2B2T will still exist? That's a big question.
Yeah, that's a terrifying question. I don't know. I play less than I did when I was like really onto it, right? I have a job, I have like stuff to do, real life catches on. But I think I can like still be around, at least in a minimal way, for like as long as I would want to.
Okay, so and you don't feel the desire to keep playing dwindling at all?
If I get bored of stuff, I just do less until I enjoy it again.
Okay.
I don't know. I try to handle myself in a way where I won't burn myself out, which some people on 2B seem to be really good at. Yeah, it's not a good thing to burn out if you're trying to like hold a group.
So what if hypothetically tomorrow 2BCT just disappeared? What do you think would happen?
Cry.
Would you cry?
Well, at least a little bit. I don't know. It would be sad, I guess. Yeah, I don't think I'd play Minecraft if it wasn't for 2B still.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people actually. Like the Minecraft as a game is just the means of playing 2BTT, you know.
Yeah, like there's no other server that I would care about.
Yeah. So weird. Do you think you'll just quit Anarchy Minecraft? But I mean, because you'll have all these people. Because people instinctively jump ship, right? They'll go to the next best thing, whether that's Constantium, blah blah blah. Don't you think you'll just move there? Because you said you don't really care about the history. So is a 4 year younger map really that big of a deal to you?
Okay, no, I don't care that much about history as about player history, but I do care about the map a lot.
Oh, okay.
I love the old terrain. I love just the mere fact that the server's been running since. House was wrong about this. Did you notice?
What do you mean?
House did not know which year the server started in.
Really?
We had to correct it for him. He thought it was the end of 2010.
Is it
December 2010, that's what always has been stated by him.
Sure.
And in the 256k world download, we just calculated what chunks were from what version. And nothing was from that version. The server was restarted a couple times with a new map around that time, and the first one was in fucking 2011.
Really? I didn't know about this.
And when we email him, when does the server start? He's like, oh, I don't know.
Did he actually respond to that?
Yeah, he did. And then he even fixed the starting date in the help menu of 2D.
Oh, so it says 2011 now?
I think it says 2011 now, yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the fact that you're playing on such an old map and that so much stuff has happened before and might happen after. That's what appeals to people, right?
Yeah.
Do you know any other server where signs are that important?
Of course
like
not, no.
Putting down signs like was here that long ago? Like, it's crazy to me.
Okay.
I mapped the signs of the whole 256k download. I have this site running.
Yeah.
I love looking up someone and just seeing what they did. Sometimes you can trace their entire travel path away from Spawn the first time they joined from the science they put down.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah.
It is cool.
That map's publicly available, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You can just download it if you have a 1.2 terabytes left.
God. Yeah, I actually toyed with the idea of downloading the 100k download back when that was done, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing it, can't be bothered. And then Turbin hosted it.
You need to be a bit of a statistical data guy to do anything with it to begin with, right?
Yeah, I wish Turbin would host it on the archive, honestly, that would be really cool.
The 256k?
Yeah.
It's hosted though, somewhere else.
Oh, somewhere else?
It's hosted on a read-only server, on Porkchop server.
What do you mean read-only server?
You can just... So, nobody wants to host this thing because it's like horrible for drive space, because you need fast drives. But Porkchop just runs this crazy configuration that is read-only, as in it can load chunks, but it can't modify them at all.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a bit scuffed, but it works. And that's the most important part.
Oh, right. I didn't know about
that. But the whole download is just on Pepsi. I don't know, 256k. You'd find it if you look it up.
Oh, and that's a public server.
Yeah, it's a public server.
Oh, sweet. I'll have to check that out.
It's just laggy as fuck when 4 people are online at the same time.
When more than one person's online, it just dies. God. Yeah. How much? Did you have any involvement in that download?
Yeah, I did one section, I think.
Okay, nice. And how was that all stitched together? Because obviously everyone does their individual sections. Surely there's some sort of manual, fixing up there to avoid overlapping or bullshit.
Yeah, so I think this is explained a little bit in the thread, but you all do your sections and you run region merger.jar to push them together, and then you calculate all the missing chunks. And you make some bad twin bots that try to walk it all.
That's really cool. I mean, that's another example of your kind of dev capabilities within your group being able to achieve something. Because that's when you just think about the automation involved with a lot of these projects nowadays. Because obviously projects on 2B, I don't know about now, but there was a period of time where they were becoming more and more kind of complex with especially nocom, the algorithms involved.
Yeah, try to explain
insane.
That.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy what people do for a block game.
It's normal, right? In any field, stuff gets more and more complicated because the boring stuff is just too easy.
We have a Patreon. For $5 a month, you can show your support to the DigCast and be able to watch our interviews live. To find out more, click the link in the description. Cheers. Oh yeah, so can you give us a bit of an explanation on the whole... I know it's a massive meme, but the Zero Neb situation. How did he become such a fan? Not a fan, but how did he become so obsessed with your group? And what has he done, basically?
Sorry, who?
Zero Neb.
Oh, Zero Neb. Well, yeah, so that's kind of a self-made problem, right? So, well, a little bit. Zero Neb was suspicious of our accounts, right? The accounts that were always online, they were just proxy accounts, but they were also running nocom. And the nerds would effectively troll the shit out of him with those accounts. And what Fitz said in his video is pretty true. But when nocom turns out to be real, you just boost his self-esteem like crazy, right? You make this prophet think he's actually predicting the future, and of course he's gonna keep going crazy. I don't know. People just give him the attention he wants, and he just keeps going with it. It seems like it's all staged. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you think he's actually serious, or do you think he's kind of embracing himself as a meme?
There are people who believe both. I don't know anymore. In any case, he it's a problem for him.
He's kind of like Jake the Snake, right? When Jake the Snake first started playing TV, nobody could decide whether or not he was a troll or he was just so.
Yeah, but it's damaging for them too.
Okay, so this is something that I asked Bucky last week, and I really like the question. I think I might kind of make it into a sort of week or every episode I'll ask it. So, do you think 2B2T has had a net positive or a net negative impact on your life, your real life?
God. You're basically asking me to predict what my life would have been like if I didn't join it.
Yeah, have you never thought about that? I have.
Well, a little bit. I don't know. I would have probably just been busy playing other games. I like playing games, I guess. I might have been putting a little bit more work into work.
Right.
It's possible. But I know a lot of people that I would never have known. Like Lejev, like most of the SpawnMasons, like all these fucking crazy coders. I've met up with like a bunch of them.
Oh, you've met them
in
in
real
real
life.
Yeah.
They've been in they've been in my laboratory. They slept in my room.
That's it.
It's crazy. They're like actual IRL friends at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, the
It's
fact
like,
that
I don't
2B
know.
can lead to that is just awesome, really.
And everyone who I talk to about it is like, what the fuck? They just don't understand. But like, I don't know. It's fun. I like the crazy autistic people of 2B.
Crazy autistic people, yeah. I mean, are there any like skills you think you've developed from 2B? Maybe like social skills, like leadership skills sounds larpy, but you know, kind of organizational skills. Like, what have you taken from the server?
A little bit of people things. I wasn't very social to begin with, but I think that helped a little bit. And like, for example, I was into statistics and data stuff, and I was at the beginning when I played 2B, I would just like exert that there, right? You'd start making graphs, making shit. People have made memes about me making graphs out of anything. But like, I used to do that, and that like helped a bit, I guess. At this point, it's basically my job, and I don't feel like doing it again on 2B.
Okay.
So I do other stuff. But like, it definitely helped.
So you think overall you're glad
And
you found
coding
2B?
too. Coding's...
Oh yeah.
I mean, 2B is a very technical place, right?
It can
For
be,
most
yeah.
people, and I don't think it contributes. But of course, like, it would have been even better to just like spend your time learning something, right? That's not as fun.
You can say that, but like, would you have like?
Yeah, probably not. That's the problem.
You would have just played another video game, which
Yeah.
you gain less from. You know?
Yeah, exactly. What I like of 2B and of Minecraft as a whole is like just keeping screenshots and stuff. You have way more left than when you waste your time in another game.
Yeah, you can look back on it. Like, I'm sure I'll be looking back at my old screenshots in like 5 years.
You can keep your entire worlds. It's not all gone. Like.
And finally, my last question for you is: what do you think newfag negative entropy would think about what you've accomplished today?
I probably wouldn't believe it.
Really? If I told newfag you that you were leader of the SpawnMasons?
Well, that wouldn't mean anything to me.
Well, yeah, true. It didn't exist at the time. That's very true.
It just sounds so random. I don't know. Like,
but did you have a sort of belief when you joined that you would do something significant?
No,
not at all.
I just wanted to build cool shit and know people.
Yeah.
I had no aspirations at all.
That sounds so depressing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. Like, I didn't play Minecraft to
achieve anything,
become famous
just
or
a game.
Anything.
Yeah, because that's so different to so many people. Like, you're such a contrast from Bucky who I had last episode. It's great. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like too much attention.
Yeah.
The only attention I would go for is the new friend once in a month DMing me that he likes my build.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I don't think I asked you this earlier. What's your favourite build that you've done?
Have you seen... Okay, there's a couple, right? But I'm just going to talk about the ones that jump into my head. Have you seen the Firebending Masters?
I've seen pictures of it, yeah. I've never actually seen wall downloads or anything.
That one, like, I was so happy with that when it was done. Just the render came out so nice.
It does look... It's the one with, like, the glass in the middle, isn't it?
It's the one with the rainbow glass tornado. And the dragons.
Did you design that all yourself?
Yeah, I just built that. That's crazy. And it's funny because when I look at it now, it looks shit. Like the mountain is boring. It's all stones. Like, I've gotten quite far in my like world edit, world machine, world painter shenanigans for making islands and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you don't
Now
do
my
that
terrain
manually?
looks. Sorry?
You don't do that manually?
It's a combination.
Right, yeah, okay.
At the very least, world edit and GoBrush. They're tools, right? Like, doing that manually works, but it just takes way too much time.
Sure.
I've like optimized so much about making islands. It's crazy. I think I'm gonna make a guide video even soon.
A guide to making islands.
Yeah, a guide to making islands on 2B. And the baritone stuff and everything is in it.
You use baritone to do it?
Yeah, we just built these islands 100% with baritone.
Because
they look crazy.
Whenever I've tried to use baritone to build something, it's just so like autistic and it's.
Yeah, that's because you need to learn the entire settings page in order to do anything with baritone building.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have.
People just try it, see it doesn't do it well, and just give up.
Yeah. I mean, in that defense, you expect it to be configured properly, kind of from the get-go.
Oh, yeah. Good luck making Ledger have configured properly.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Nice.
I wish, but like.
Yeah. And also your cinematics, that's kind of a big thing that you've always been doing, right?
Yeah, a little bit less recently. I mean, YouTube was fun, right? I'm also not trying to become a YouTuber, you know? I just did that stuff for fun. I wanted to make videos that, like, I could watch again and, like. And just a bit of stuff to, like, make people build, I guess.
Just
if you
some inspiration, yeah.
Yeah, but if you show people that you like care about the bases and you make videos after them, people are more like to build more. It's just that simple.
Gives them that spark of kind of like, yes,
yeah.
I want to do this.
I made this Smipville cinematic, which was like hell, 16 minutes long, and it's one single flight path. And I had to create.
Yeah.
I had the creator of fucking Aperture talk to me about how the performance was so shit that I like couldn't move anymore, and he just fixed it.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was like looking at my flight path, like, oh, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, why would anyone do this?"
Well, it turned out to be quite a nice video, so you know,
yeah, it is.
It was good. Yeah,
I'm happy about it.
So, out of the kind of different things you've done on 2B, building, coding, cinematics, and group organization or leading, if you will, what's the one you're most proud of?
I don't know. I think building, like, there's so many things so many people could have done. It's just a game of endurance, really.
What do you mean endurance?
Especially with groups, the group stuff, for example, and the building stuff, and anything. People who get tired of 2B just quit, and then they're gone. And like, I like to not be gone. So I try to put a moderate amount of effort in and like not quit.
What, into your building so that you don't quit?
Well, sorry?
So you're saying you put the most effort into your building, basically?
I think I might put actually more effort in the group at this point. But the building's like the fun part, I guess.
So that's cool, because that's what you joined 2B for, and it's still what you gain the most satisfaction out of.
Yeah, you just don't want to push it too much.
Don't want to make it become a grind.
Well, actually, no, I don't like building that much, but I like having built.
So,
if that makes sense.
So you don't like the hard work that goes into it, but you like the results, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that applies to most things.
They are worth it's worth like the effort in the end.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what makes you happy, right?
Yeah, the people messaging you on Reddit saying "cool base." That's the
makes
Reddit
you
clout.
happy.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's kind of all I had to ask you. I don't suppose you have any sort of closing remarks, anything you think I've missed that you'd like to address?
No, I don't know.
No. So I think that's it from us. This is really good. It was a pleasure having you on. The fact that you've never done a 2B2T podcast before, and I invited you.
Thanks for having me.
A bit apprehensive at first, but I'm glad I managed to convince you to come on. It was good. Hopefully, people should take some value out of the stuff you've said. And yeah, I think that's all from me. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Hope you enjoyed Negative Entropy's sexy voice, which isn't bad at all. It's very good. So yeah, okay, I think that's it. Cheers for watching, guys.